me Lacy. I'm 38 and I'm a nurse practitioner. So my life before stroke was pretty busy. I worked in a busy urgent care, working 12-hour shifts, seeing lots of patients, doing procedures with my hands, and I also did a lot of traveling and international medical missions. So typically we would go in the Middle East and do clinics for like needy populations that didn't have access to care. So day of my stroke, I was feeling just fine, worked out the day before, felt completely fine. I did have like a minor like scar revision surgery. So when I came out of anesthesia, I guess I didn't wake up like as fast as they expected. So what I remember is them telling me to wake up and wanting to, but then just being sleepy. And then that's when like my face started drooping and my arm. So they took me to the ER and did a couple of scans where they found that I had a stroke. So the days after my stroke were probably the worst part of it because I was at the hospital kind of waiting for insurance to cover a rehab facility spot. So really just kind of stuck in bed for 8 days and not really able to get up or anything, which is hard for someone who's like running around all the time. So I think those were probably like the worst parts of it, is just not being able to get up. So when you have a stroke, obviously you need people around you to help you. All of a sudden you're kind of like a child again and need help for everything. So definitely felt blessed to have had my family around. The other thing is just that feeling of not being able to help yourself that I know for me was like the first time I've ever had anxiety in my life. It's a process for me to learn to accept help, but I think it's a healthy process and always a blessing to realize there's people that are willing to help you and just allowing them to do that, because you definitely do it for them in the same situation.
She worries about us because we are older, and Melanie has expressed that she doesn't want me to get hurt. And
my mom and dad kind of switched off at St. Joe's about who stayed with me, and then at Shepherd, my mom stayed with me overnight in case I needed anything, and then have been kind of supportive and cheerleader since I've been home.
Melanie and I together make a really good team. We've always been very, very close, but she has such a funny disposition and humor. She's named her arm Karen.
So like one of the funny things we did is we named my arm that didn't want to work Karen, because Karen would sometimes do things and then sometimes she clearly talked to the wrong manager. So one of the funny things about Karen is that she just would do a new motion and I'd be all excited about Karen, and then like my therapist would come to look at it and I'd be, oh, look what Karen can do, and she just literally would not do it. And so this happened like 3 or 4 times, and so like I was like, come on, like I can open my hand now, and then the doctor would come and she would do nothing. So that was always funny. They do a little bit of what's called e-stim, which kind of stimulates the muscles to move. So they were doing e-stim with Karen, and the only finger she wanted to give them was the middle finger. So like no matter where they put the pads, like where the muscles were supposed to be stimulated, the only one she would do is to flick off my therapist. So that's very like on brand for Karen. So yeah. I do know like there is somewhat of a timeline for neuroplasticity, which is the fancy word for your brain rewiring itself and starting to work like it did before. So knowing that like my best chance of recovery is like first year post-stroke keeps me going, and then just laughing at the funny things that come along with it, So I think if you're not laughing, you might be crying. So just to keep it going, light of hard situations and just keep it moving. So at Next Step, there is a lot of kind of athletic type things that they work on. They're very focused on like recovery in kind of skills or activities. So it's more like a workout that I would used to do, kind of incorporating that, helping me get back to that and gaining strength through like stuff I enjoy doing. So next steps in recovery are continuing to grow stronger. I will be doing Shepherd Pathways until May, and then kind of move over full time to Next Step, hopefully to kind of get my strength back and kind of get my life back to how it used to be. I'm hopeful for a full recovery, and I think with hard work, I think that's totally attainable.